Hey everyone, this is Joanne coming to you live from New York. I'm also known as #UnicornBoss. So as you guys are jumping online tonight, go ahead and hit me up with some unicorn emojis because those are my jam. If you're grabbing me live, go ahead and leave me a number 1. And if you're catching me on the replay, go ahead and leave me a number 2. So I don't know about you guys, but who's ready for a late night keto kitchen? Sorry you guys that I am on so late tonight. You'll never believe what happened. I actually fully prepped a different recipe and didn't realize until I was almost done that I was missing a key ingredient. So I had to scrap that and start over with something fresh. So hence I've been prepping here for like over an hour. It's crazy. So I see a bunch of you guys jumping online. Welcome. If you're grabbing me live, go ahead and leave me a number 1. And if you're catching me on the replay, go ahead and leave me a number 2. By the way, if you're a brand new friend, don't forget to comment new below so that way I can circle back around and say hi to you. And if we're not friends yet, don't forget to go ahead and send me a friend request and hit follow. And if you haven't followed me yet, I would appreciate if you could just click on my face. It will take you over to my page, and then from there you can click on the follow button. I want to make sure you're not missing out on all the fun things that we do here on my page, and I am working to build my followers, so I so appreciate your love and support. So let me say hi to a few people real quick, and then we'll go ahead and we'll get started, you guys. So who here loves meatloaf? Has anybody done a keto-friendly meatloaf yet? That all the viewers that are watching, if you have, go ahead and tell me about it below. This is my first time trying a keto-friendly meatloaf, so I'm really excited to see how it works out. So as you're jumping on, don't forget to say hi and let me know where you're coming in from. Hey Shota, let's see who else we have. Todd, Valentino, Tele, Juanita, Tina, Deborah, Summer, Andrew. Awesome. Hi, everybody. Happy Monday. How was everybody's Monday today? Hopefully you guys had a great day. So actually, before I turn the camera, let me go over the macros real quick with you guys. So for those of you that missed it, sorry for the late night keto kitchen. I actually had a completely different recipe prepped and then realized at the very end I was missing a key ingredient. So #real life, you guys. So we're doing something else instead. Hi Valentino, he said he's from Manhattan. That's awesome. Hi Ann, welcome. Hi Stacy. Yeah, so I've never tried a keto-friendly meatloaf before, so I'm curious to see if this sticks together and works like it would a normal meatloaf. So this may be a fail, you guys. Who knows? We're trying this live together, so we'll figure it out. By the way, the recipe that I have pinned to the post here is for 2 pounds of beef along with all of the seasonings. I have 1 pound of beef here tonight, so I just halved everything, but I do have the complete recipe if you want to use 2 pounds of beef in there. And the macros that I'm reading off are for 2 pounds. So it's got 267 total calories, only 3 grams of total carbs, which is nice and low, which makes me really excited. It means you can have more than 1 slice. 24 grams of total protein, which is really nice for your protein macros. And then of course my favorite, almost 16 grams of total fat. So remember you guys, if you're keto, I always say don't be afraid of the fat. It takes fat to burn fat. So I know for me, getting up over 100 grams of fat was what really helped me in my weight loss journey. So by the way, I didn't mention, if you're keto, go ahead and comment keto. Let me know how long you've been on the journey and how much weight you've lost so I can give you a shout out. Anne says she loves last minute dinners. Oh my goodness, you guys, like I thought the prep was never gonna end tonight. So here we go. So I'm gonna start with a pound of grass-fed beef, and then I did do a little bit of prep for you guys just to make this a little bit quicker and easier. In this bowl here, I've got a half of a green pepper, I've got a full onion, and 2 cloves of garlic. So I'm just going to go ahead and put this all in together. And then, let's see what else we got. While I'm getting this ready, feel free to tell me how your day was and what you had for your keto dinner. I would love to hear about it. So now we're gonna do a bunch of different spices. So I told you guys already, I've got my garlic in there. I left it out because I didn't want to forget to tell you guys to put some garlic in there. So we're gonna do a half of a teaspoon of cumin. Keto since May. Awesome, RJ. Congrats. I know I've been chatting with you for a while. You're doing really well on your journey. Okay. So there we go. Now I didn't think to bring the meatloaf packet in here, but back in my Carbolicious days, back when I was a big carb eater, I used to use the pre-made Meatloaf packets that you can usually buy by McCormick or whatever. A lot of them have hidden sugars in them, so just be careful. So I like this recipe because it walks you through putting your own spices and everything together for it. Wow, Diana's down 67 pounds. High fives, girl. I'm so proud of you. Let's show her some love. Give her some hearts, you guys. That's really incredible. Okay, we're gonna do 1 egg. By the way, for those of you that are brand new to me, I'm just about to hit my year mark on keto, and I'm down 60 pounds myself, so it feels amazing. Okay, in this little bowl here, I've got a few different things. I've got 1/4 cup of Parmesan. I've also got 1/4 cup of flaxseed, which I think is going to be a really neat binder, you guys. So you know how normally for meatloaf you would use panko breadcrumbs or just Italian breadcrumbs or something like that. So this calls for flax, which I think is really unique. I don't know if it's going to change the taste of the meatloaf, so I'll make sure to give you guys some feedback. But this does have 6 grams of total fat and 2 tablespoons. So this is a great way to add in some healthy fats while you're binding your meatloaf up. I was curious to see if it has protein, and it's got 3 grams of protein. So that's pretty cool. Another one of the reasons why I liked this recipe. Always learn something new every day. So I've got some Parmesan in here, some flaxseed, and I've also got my own keto-friendly breadcrumbs that I usually make and just keep some stock in the fridge. So if you guys are curious for the keto-friendly breadcrumbs recipe, you can just find it in my Keto Kitchen album. It's basically just ground up Parmesan, herbs, and pork rinds. So you can just store it in the fridge and have it on hand. So I also added in 1/4 cup of the keto-friendly breadcrumbs, which would actually add in more additional fat and protein for your macros. I just didn't figure it out because sometimes it's hard to configure all of that stuff, and I really just wanted to get the cooking going tonight. So, okay, so that's what's in there. Let's see here. Flaxseed, onion, garlic. We've got our bell pepper. Okay, let's do, it says a tablespoon of parsley, but I'm gonna do a little bit less because I wanna add in some Italian seasoning. I do like to work with Italian seasoning. So I'm gonna do like 1/2 teaspoon maybe of parsley. And then I'm also gonna do 1/2 teaspoon of Italian seasoning. I like Italian seasoning. Do you guys enjoy working with that one? I like it because it's a nice little mix. So I'm gonna do both. Okay. Now this recipe called to add a little bit of chili powder in for some reason. Do you guys normally put chili powder in your meatloaf? I would be curious to know. I could not actually reach the chili powders up on the top shelf here, and I thought, you know what, I don't want it, so I'm just going to go ahead and leave it out myself. But you could feel free to add it in if you'd like to. And then we're just gonna do a little bit of salt and pepper, and we'll be pretty much ready to go to combine this. So I'm curious to see if this binds together well. Aw, thanks for the love, Deb. I appreciate it. I'm glad you're learning new things on my page. That really means a lot to me. It actually says to use a full teaspoon of salt, but that seems like a lot. I'm just gonna do a little smidge, not too much, you guys. You could always add in more salt after. You can't come back from too much salt, so I like to err a little bit on the side of caution. So, and let's just do some fresh ground pepper in here. Okay. Now the last step, it actually says to put a little bit of tomato puree. So this is actually just a real tomato sauce. It's what I had on hand. So that's what I'm gonna use. And I'm gonna share with you, if I can get this out. I'm gonna show you what the tomato sauce looks like. For those of you that watch my videos regularly, this is gonna be a repeat for you, but I get a lot of questions about tomato sauce, so I do like to cover it every time I work with it. It's really important that you guys are using a keto-friendly tomato sauce. So a plain tomato puree, like the one that Hunt's does, is very good. The sugars that are in there are just gonna come naturally from the tomatoes. But if you wanted to do a real sauce, I do really like this one. It's by Bertolli, and it's a, it says right on the front here, no artificial flavors or colors and no added sugar. So that's what you're looking for. Make sure you're reading the back of your label. A lot of tomato sauces have like you know, 10 to 12 grams or more of total sugar because they add in the sugar to help cut the acid. So you really just want, this does have sugar in it. Total sugars are 5 grams, but it's just from the actual, you know, the fruit of the tomato. Tomato is a fruit, right? I always get those mixed up. You guys can share below and let me know for sure. So nothing, no additional sugar in here. This is just tomato juice with the puree and some added in spices and peppers. So yeah, this one is a good one to use if you guys are looking for a regular spaghetti sauce. So that's it. Pretty easy, right? Nice, quick, easy prep, you guys. So let me grab a spatula. I'm probably gonna have to dig in here with my hands too, but I figured I would try and get it going at least with the spatula to see how it does. So, holy cow, I've got my oven on preheating and it's like blasting in my face right now, you guys. Whew. Okay, I'm gonna switch over to my hands now. I know some of you guys don't like to work with your hands, but that's what works best for me. As long as you're safe and careful in washing your hands, you're gonna be fine. Yeah, you use that one too, Deb, right? It's a really good tomato sauce. I struggled for so long to find something. I mean, I was using the Hunt's tomato puree and then adding in my own seasonings, but it just really wasn't the same. So I was really excited to find one that worked, that was good for you, that had a little bit more oomph to it, because, you know, I'm used to my grandmother's homemade, you know, Italian sauce. So yeah, right? Just got to get right in with your hands, you guys. I mean, I know it's like taboo nowadays. People don't want to use their hands, but there are certain recipes that really just call to get your hands in there. So I'll probably have some keto police coming out to hate me. So I'm loving my free time. So thanks for asking, Deb. So for those of you that don't know, I quit my full-time job last week on Wednesday to do this full-time, and it's been spectacular. I absolutely love it. Can you guys tell? I'm just like beaming. So, okay. Everything is getting really nicely combined, but you know what, you guys? I am noticing, so that's what we're looking like. I am noticing it feels a little wet to me. So what I'd like to do is, I'm gonna grab my breadcrumbs here with my other hand that's still clean, and I'm just gonna put in a little bit more of the breadcrumbs just to kind of bind it up just a little bit further. And the great thing about using these is they're gonna give probably a really great savory taste and flavor, I would imagine, to the meatloaf. So, oh, thanks for the love, Marinette. Hopefully I said your name okay. That feels better. I might just do one more sprinkle, you guys, and then I think we're good to go. So what do you guys think? Do you think you guys could do this recipe pretty easily on your own? That's one of the reasons why I started sharing this, is because I was so overwhelmed by going keto to start, and I'm not that savvy in the kitchen. So, you know, I wanted to start sharing with people how easy it is, and it's really not that hard if you just kind of get outside of your own head and get going with it. Okay, this is perfect. So I've got a nice little football of meat here, and if you guys try it, make sure you tag me in it or send me a message with a photo. I would love to see it. You could always share it to my Facebook page. I love it when you guys share that you've tried different recipes. So I got myself a loaf pan. For those of you that watched my video the other day, I wanted to make a, by the way, if you missed it, please go back and watch the cheddar bacon bread and do yourself a favor and make that bread, because it was one of the best keto recipes I've ever made. But I didn't have a bread pan, so I had to kind of like wing it last minute and use a casserole dish. So I made sure to go out this weekend and get myself a bread pan, a proper loaf pan, so that way I can make things. So of course, this isn't gonna fit the full meatloaf in here because I only had 1 pound of meat, but I usually just get it in here, you know, do like a half of a loaf, and that's it, and that'll be good to go. So give me a quick second, let me just wash my hands, and then I'll be back to show you and tell you how long we're cooking this and whatnot. Okay, very good. So there you go, you guys. It came out really nice. I have my oven at 350. It says for 2 pounds of beef to cook this for 45 minutes. So I'm probably gonna start at 30 just because I might check it at like 20 minutes actually, just to see, just because I have less meat that I'm working with. But I always do a live taste test on my page after. So if you guys want to swing back, I know it's late tonight, or if you even want to check it tomorrow and see what the final results look like. I'm always really honest with you and tell you whether these recipes are a win or a fail. So I'll make sure to give you good feedback and provide the link to the recipe and all of those good things. So thank you all so much for joining me tonight. If you had a great time, make sure you go ahead and give this video a quick share. I so appreciate your love and support. And if we're not connected yet, don't forget to go ahead and send me a friend request and hit follow. Thanks, you guys. Have a great night. I'll be back to chat with you again soon. Take care.